Welcome to Ephemera Files by Tommy, and I have a confession to make. I have a new crush. I don't think my husband's figured it out, but I think that he's seen some evidence, especially in the kitchen. So I'm going to introduce you to my new crush. This is part of it. 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 And this. And this. And this. And this, and this, and this, and this, and this, and this. Have you met my crush before? I am over the moon with dyeing papers here lately. I've been kind of missing in action. Now, part of that was because I was sick. Part of that was we had basketball games. Part of that was we had church. Part of that was we had an event where we helped a non-for-profit. And part of it was that I was spending time with my newfound love. This is so much fun and it's addicting. And I am going to share with you some of the things that I've made. And you will find digital downloads of most of this in my Etsy shop, probably by Monday morning, I hope. Today is the 21st of February. So hopefully by Monday, which would be the 24th, I will start the digital downloads in here. And I'm thinking about making surprise stacks where you would get a random assortment of about 20 sheets of dyed paper. And it would be anything. And I don't even have any tea dyed paper in here. I haven't even gotten to that part yet because I have about 20 some odd different teas that I want to experiment with. And I just have a few of the doilies. I'll go ahead and show you these doilies. And I think they turned out beautifully. I love the heart. I don't know that I even have a piece of white paper around here so that you can see the difference. Let's see. Here we go. I'll use the back of this paper pack. Maybe that will help. See how deep, dark brownish pink that is. I think that is such a beautiful color. And I don't have a clue how I've got that one, so I have some experimenting to do. I have decided that dyeing paper is kind of like a science experiment because you mix the different things, you mix the strengths, you mix the times, you mix how you dry it, what you dry it on, what temperature you dry it, if you're going to iron it, if you're going to layer it. And sometimes it's just a complete surprise what comes out. So I am going to try moving some of this out of the way so I can show you what I've discovered going through this. I don't know if you'll be as excited about it as I am, but I'm excited about it. I will also share with you the names that you will find these under, because depending on what it is, it has a different name. It will have a different name in my shop. This stack here is some of the first coffee dye I ever tried to make, and you can tell because some of the pages got really soft and they ripped. Some of them are just almost a disaster. Can you see all that going on there? But some of them turned out really cool. I thought that coffee would be more coffee colored though. And it turns out that it depends a lot on whether you're using regular coffee or coffee grounds. Not coffee grounds, instant coffee. It's ground up instant dehydrated coffee, however you want to put it. So this is all from coffee. If you ask me, it's kind of boring, but it's better than just plain old. I mean, even that one, I tried throwing some buttons on it, and you can see the round circles, but you really can't see the buttons very well. But this has its place. And when it's a digital, you don't have to worry about all the tears and stuff that's going on in it. You get the look of the old and the tear without having the old and the tear. So that'll be one. And this will probably be, I don't know. I'll think of a name for that. And then it'll be in the shop. It'll probably say something about plain old Joe. This was my second and my third attempt at coffee dyeing, and I think that it turned out much better. And for this, I used instant coffee. I am much happier with the tones that I got. You will see, however, that I experimented with some of it and got some really different results. For instance, I tried drying this one on a plastic tablecloth, plastic lace tablecloth. I'll say it eventually. And you can just barely see the outline of the lace. I don't even know if you can see it if I put it up under the light. You might be able to see it a little bit. So I haven't figured that out yet. I do love my polka dot papers that I get by putting on a roasting pan. And I get some strange designs when I put it onto the flat roasting pan. And then there are some in here. And I'll probably sort this into a couple of different piles because I think that I stuck my two stacks together. This happens when you leave it in the coffee for too long. Matter of fact, this is what happens when you put it in the coffee and forget about it. Oops. So I will go through and I'll sort out the really grungy ones, like that one. Oh my goodness, and like this one. And these will be in my shop under Java Grunge. And especially if they have little tears, I learned, I can't remember who I learned it from. Somebody on YouTube, and if I can find it, then I'll link it. But these tears, there is a way to make, cellophane tape that looks aged. And I'll probably put that on there because I think that would really fit with the grunge theme to have the old cello tape on it. And you can see not all of them that I forgot in the pan turned out as dark as that. I think some of them I may have overbaked as well because I was experimenting with times and temperatures. And so, like, see, this one has a really grungy, almost gray over there. So I think that's going to go in the Java Grunge. But it may just be arbitrary. I may just decide that one goes there and that one goes there. I really like this roasting pan that I found because it gives you kind of that matrix look. I think it's a matrix look where all the dots are on the screen of the computers where it looks like they're falling down. Have you ever seen the movie Matrix when they're in the big circle room and all the computers start dropping the numbers? Yeah. And this one's definitely grunge. So I will finish sorting this later. I love that. I think that just turned out super cool, but it also depends on what your likes are. You may not like something that looks like this that's going to have tape over here. So, but there's a few of them. And I'll finish sorting that later. I should put the sorted part on the top, huh? And then these are also coffee. These are from a mini composition book. You can tell right here that they just folded right in half like that. And some of them turned out rather grungy too. I also, with this paper and with another paper, found out that some of them just don't take to the dye very well. And I will have these under the Java Grunge Junior because they're a smaller size, but they will also be the grungy. I boiled together onion skins, both yellow and red, and some shallot skins, and a purple onion skin. I just grabbed a whole bunch of the skins that flake off in your refrigerator drawer. I had a whole bunch of them, and it made this lovely color. And the thing is, something about the different colors of the onion, they absorb into the paper at a different rate. So you get a little bit more of the yellow. A little bit. Can you see how the yellow and the pink and a little bit of the red, orange, all mixed together? I think this may be one of my favorites. And I just love the way that the colors turned out. You can even see more of the red and the pink on that side. And then when baking, it brought out even more of the orange and the pink on the papers. See, you've got the pink and the browns and some golden yellow and some darker yellow and some orange on that one. It's just the variations from paper to paper. On this one, that pan that I said was the dot matrix, on this side, it looks like a little chain link necklace. And since these papers are a result from yellow onion skins and red onion skins and purple onion skins and shallot skins, oh, and garlic skins, then I am going to call this in my shop ogre paper, because all of those are layers, and ogres are like onions. They have layers. If you're a Shrek fan, you're welcome. I also, on this paper, I don't know if you can see it, I tried to arrange some of the skins in the shape of a flower. And I think it looks kind of like a rose right there. I think it's pretty. And it transferred to this one some. And this one was dried on a rack that had lines, just like a grill rack. So that would be really good in a journal going sideways. You could use those for writing lines if you wanted. And then there is another one where I tried to make a picture out of some onion skins, but that one didn't take as well as the other one that looks like a rose. So this is, and I don't know what happened there, but that's cool. This is going to be ogre paper. This, I have a small stack. This is my avocado dyed paper. I haven't had much luck with avocado dyed paper. Let's see if I have any of my cards that I did the first time. This is my second time dyeing with avocados. My first attempt were these cards right here. And they look, I don't really like them because I think they look bloody. And I was afraid that, you know, is that just what they're supposed to look like? I mean, look, it looks like a massacre happened on these cards. So I think I'm going to go back and re-dye them. I think I did something wrong in preparing the dye, because it shouldn't look like blood. It should look like a really nice pink, which I did get with this stack. Oh, look, my nails match. That's so funny. And so this, I'm not real creative and cutesy with the name on this. Oh, I dropped a piece of onion skin on that one apparently. Nope, that's where I put a flower on there, and it got some of the dye from the flower. You can see the stem and the leaf right there, and some leaves right here, and this would be the flower. We've got some dotted, some lined. And this will be in my store just as avocado paper. And there is the other side of the other paper that was sandwiching the flower. This will be in my store. The digital will be in my store just as avocado paper. This paper was also avocado paper, but it's also got some of the, it's got a little bit of the onion skin paper mixed in. I wanted to see what happened because I thought that it would be a brighter color, and it actually was more subdued. It was subdued the pink, it subdued the yellows. And I still think that it's a really pretty color range. And so we'll just flip through some of these real quick. I don't know what caused the stripes though. I think that that's very odd. And some of this might end up in the grunge because I think that one might. We'll see what happens. You'll just have to go through and look at what's in the shop and see what is where. I don't know how that happened either, but I do like it. I like the little wavy, fluffy, almost wing-looking pattern. These remind me of tiger stripes, the ones where it kind of fingered in. There's some more of the matrix pan. If you have not tried dyeing paper, whether with tea, coffee, avocado, onion skins, any of that, I would encourage you to at least give it a shot once. You may discover that you just really don't like it. You may discover that you absolutely love doing it. You may discover that you really like using it. And I think that I left that one and this one to soak in the pan for a long time. I was experimenting on that too. And you may discover that you really like the look of it, not enough to make it, but enough to use it. And so then you've got an idea of where you can buy it. Hello. These are double dipped. They were dipped into one of the dyes, and the original dye didn't get all over the place, and so there were still white spots on the paper. And so I dipped them again in another dye. This one started in the onion skins, and then I dipped it into the avocado. And I think that may be the case with most of them. I think it was the onion skins mostly that had spots on them that didn't get dye. So this will be in a digi called Double Dipped, and I'll probably have more on that one. Matter of fact, I know I'll have more because I've got two more sitting here. This is beet dyed paper. And these two papers are double dipped. They will go in that other stack. This one was double dipped with the beet dye and then the avocado dye. You can see the pink and the purple on there. And then this one was double dipped with the beet dye and then coffee dye, because you can see the darker brown there on the sides. So this is beet dyed paper, and I think it looks great. I love it. I spilled beet juice on the counter, and I have a stack of regular coffee paper on the counter that sometimes when I spill things, instead of reaching for paper towels, I reach for one of these papers because I want to see how it turns out. And I love the way the beet dye turned out. Look at this gorgeous purple color. Now I will tell you, some of them dried rather funky. I don't have a clue where that yellow came from. Maybe from the pan, because one of those other papers had that same yellow burst on it. I got a feeling that might be it. But it also had these water droplet looking areas. I tried putting a flower on this one. It didn't take very well except to give it the line across there. That's fabulous. I don't know how I did that at all, honestly. So I do like the beet dyed. It behaves differently on the paper. This one is where I tried to dry it on the lace again. I haven't yet to figure out how to do that. I can do it on real lace. I can do it on paper lace. The plastic lace gives me fits. This will be under Can't Be Beat paper. These are coffee dyed index cards. And some of them are really dark, some of them are polka dots, some of them are light. They're still very writable on the opposite sides. One side will be dark, but one side will be much lighter. I kind of like the way that turned out too. I think that those are two that I left overnight just to see what happened. And some of them the lines came off, some of them the lines stayed on. Even the dotted paper you can still use as a writing space. So these will be listed under coffee index cards. Not very exciting of a name, I know. But I'm having trouble coming up with anything else. And then we have a couple of miscellaneous things. I will put digitals, and by the way, all of these that I'm showing you today right now are going to be digitals. That's one that I tore in half, and I don't even remember why. So this won't be included, but I did want to show you how the pink and the purple react when you add another layer with coffee. I just kind of flicked coffee over the top of it, and I think that that turned out really pretty too. Experiment. By all means, experiment. You never know what you're going to find that you like. I will have digitals of all of these doilies. They're all coffee dyed. I believe some might be tea dyed. And some of them have polka dots, some do not. Some have extra lace print on them. I will have, it'll be both sides of each doily. And all those digitals will be under my shop, in my shop under dip or dyed. Oh my goodness. All of these will be in my shop under dyed doilies. And then this I just threw into the batch just to see what would happen. It's an envelope. And I first opened up the envelope like that and put it into the die. Okay, I left the window in it. And I think that I dripped some beet juice on there, but it'll be okay. And then after I did the die, I removed the window because, number one, you don't want to put this in your oven. If you're going to dry this, don't put this in your oven because it'll just melt and cause a big catastrophe. After I removed the window, I put this onto one of my roasting pans that has the holes in it. And then what I'm going to do is take the window that I know already fits here, I didn't throw it away, and to glue it back on there. And then I can glue my envelope back together. And I think that that looks pretty cool. I will include, no, I can't include that digi because I think because this might be a copyright thing. So I can't include that digi, but that's how you do it. If you want to make some of these, go for it. Last two things. Sometimes you think you're getting a really good deal in the store, and it turns out to be not such a really good deal. I thought that when I found these little composition books that were this big, I thought that I had found something that I already knew that I loved, because I had already dyed. I don't seem to have any left, but I had already dyed before some composition books that were this big, and they were made just like the big ones with the sewn seam down the middle. And I had just clipped the threads down the middle, took all the pages out, and dyed them, and I had ready-made little mini journals, or journal pages, because they were already lined, they were already folded, they were already cut all the same size. I was good, I was golden. Not these. I got a packet of 3 little journals, and I think I paid 50 cents for them, which I paid $1 for 3 of them at Dollar Tree, so it's not like it was a huge savings, but I threw them in my cart. and I was happy. And then I took them out, and it was, what's that called when it's glued just on the end? I can't remember, but each page was glued in like this against the little spine. I was so sad. I was almost mad. And I discovered that it really doesn't like to take the die. I don't know what paper that was, but I had to almost force it to die. That didn't sound very good. I had to soak it for a really long time, and it did take the onion skin die fairly well. Fairly well. Not fabulously on most of them. Some of them, it seemed like it took pretty well, okay? And then I tried the Avocado Die and got this. Pretty much nothing. This is like zombie paper. It doesn't want to die. The only thing it really did do, there were a couple of pieces. Like I said, maybe, you know what, I got 2 packages of those for 50 cents. And I think maybe one of them died decently, and then the other didn't. The only thing that really shows on these is where they got baked, like on the edges, because they were wet. So, I think zombie papers that are half baked. I've known a few of those in my life, half-baked zombies. Anyway, until I get these fixed, I'm probably not going to put them on in my Etsy store. That was funny though, half-baked zombies. However, I am going to try dyeing them again. And I think that just to make these not so much a disaster as I thought, I think I'm going to put them, apply them, oh my goodness, I'm stuttering, apply them to the back of journaling cards, because they're still very writable. And then I may put those in as a physical item, but don't hold me to that yet, because I still have experimenting to do. So, that's my new crush. That's the new exciting thing that I have learned how to do, and I wanted to share it with you. And I want to let you know that digitals of almost all of the things that I just showed you will be in my shop. I think I told you the names that they'll be under for most of them. I think I have a couple that I didn't come up with a name yet, but you'll find them there. Just go look. And I would like for you to tell me in the comments below which of the papers was your favorite, so that I know what to aim at. Or if you have suggestions of something else that I can try dyeing with, other than the tea. I'm already getting ready to do that. I just was too excited to stop and not share that with you. Plus, it'd been a while since I'd been on here, and I didn't want you to think I had disappeared. I haven't disappeared. I'm right here. So, hope everybody has a wonderful day, and I would remind you, as always, be kind. Bye.